Ezra. Remember, the king of Babylon, he forced all the Jews to live in Babylon, you know, amongst the Babylonians. Anyway, the king of Persia, they defeated the Babylonians, and the king of Persia, he let the Jews who wanted to, not all of them did. I guess some of them, they were treated pretty good there. But the ones who wanted to return home, they could. Okay, so they went back to Judah. And Cyrus, he wanted to build a temple. It was supposed to be a very grand temple, and it talks of all the different people that came to help. Like, it was a very, very, very big project. Yeah, it spoke of all the people showing up, and they were assigned jobs to their means. I guess like what you were able to do. They started to build the altar, lay the foundation and stuff. Then the production was stopped. But here's one of the interesting bits. The neighbors around the area, they didn't like it. They were complaining that the Jews came back to this area, you know, to this neighborhood. And now they're laying the foundation, they're doing what they want to do, like, we don't like it. But here's the thing. Chapter 4 or 5 actually speaks of, like, lawyers getting involved. They use different terminology, but they're talking about, like, lawyers. They even wrote letters to this king, Artaxerxes, I can't pronounce it. And they were complaining, like, they came back and they're building these big buildings, and they got all this workforce, and they're laying down the foundation, and they didn't like it, you know. Yeah, one thing leads to another, a lot of red tape. They get the permission, I guess, or to go ahead to finish the temple. The temple is finished. Ezra, he was a teacher. I think they called him a scribe. He was teaching the Jews the old ways, you know, like the way of God, like the proper way, you know, to worship and stuff. And even though the people were still wicked and bad, it spoke of a lot of the married foreigners. That was a big no-no. You know, many people did things like that. Even, you know, had children with them. But still, he didn't like just give up on them. He kept preaching, you know, and trying to get them to go straight and narrow. But the one thing I found really interesting in this book, and like I said, I'm not a scholar. This is just something you pick up when you're reading something. It makes reference a lot of times in the first person. Like in this book, the king is talking to the people, and he'll say, I did this, or I proclaim this, and I proclaim that. But then Ezra, when he's talking too, and he's describing situations he's in, he's saying, I did this, or I went there, and then I did this. Which is interesting. Plus, even in the books that Moses wrote, he just refers to himself. Is that the third person when you refer to yourself as your name? Like, you know, Moses did this, and then Moses did that. You know, that's interesting, though, because, you know, Moses wrote these books, you know, his books, but yet he refers to himself as Moses. Whereas in this book, Ezra says, I did this and I did that. Like I said, maybe I'm reading it wrong, but it's just very, you can see the difference in the writing there, you know? Anyway, it was short and sweet. I liked it. It was pretty interesting, and I'll see you next time.